This beautiful fossil Arkitekt FS 2710 was purchased about 20 years ago. Unfortunately, if you look at the crystal, you can see that there's some scratches and scrapes. And we are going to fully disassemble this and replace that crystal. Many of the tools that we're going to use today can be readily purchased from eBay merchants. They usually sell them in a big pack, like a watch repair kit, and they come in something that looks like this. Occasionally you can get them in a fancier packaging, but a tweezers, a small mallet, a jeweler's wrench, something that has a small end that we'll use to unlock the stem. This is a press to release our watch band. This sapphire press, got this one from Esslinger. They have tons of great products, and they come with a series of different types of press accessories. I'm going to use compressed air, a soft bristle brush, some gloves, digital caliper. This one's from Vinca. You should really invest in one of these. They're not very expensive and they're going to last longer than you. And then finally the replacement sapphire. Now this sapphire happens to be a 32 by 3.3 by 2 millimeter, and that'll fit this watch. It's important to keep in mind that for each watch there's different sizes of sapphires, and that's what we'll use this caliper to determine. Start by taking off the watch. Take the band off first. Use your press. Line up the holes on either side of the watch, and when you tighten you'll be able to push that pin out. You just need to push it out a little bit, and then we'll grab it from there. Okay. If you're still unable to pull it out, use a mallet to give us more distance coming out. Then we'll be able to grab it. We'll do the same thing on this side using the mallet. This is the same process that we'd use if you were going to add or remove links to your chain. Get your jeweler's wrench. And for this one there's a ring of slots on the outside. Dial in with the middle arm until you get the right distance so that you can put a pin end into each slot. And then you're going to rotate it counterclockwise. Won't take too many turns, and then you'll be able to hand twist it off. For those of you that are switching out batteries, this is an SR626SW. And we will pop that battery out. Then there's this plastic casing that we'll pull off. Now this is really the tricky part, is to get that stem off. And I want to give you a closer look, because ordinarily when you look at the internals of a watch, there's going to be a point that's usually a dimple or a divot that will release the stem from the watch. Also, most often it will be annotated with an arrow or something that says push. This one does not have that, so it's a lot more difficult to locate. Let me give you a closer look. In order to release this stem, when you look at it, you'll see the stem. Just to get you orientated, here's the stem, then there's going to be a little dimple just offset, and then a small dot. When you press on that small dot near the dimple, that will release the stem. With the most difficult part out of the way, pull off the face, and now we get to use the sapphire press to pop that crystal out. Now the way you choose what kind of press to use, the crystal can only exit out the front, okay? So what we want to do is use a smaller pad so that it's able to get maximum pressure on the crystal. That being said, you want to use the biggest, smaller one that you can in order to keep pressure even. That will be the one that you place on top. Now on the bottom, you want to pick one that's cut out. So you see this is not flat, and this will just brace the outer edge of your watch case to catch the crystal. You want it large enough so it doesn't block the crystal's ability to come out. Let's spin this one on. And actually, I want you to put the bottom one on first. Okay, center up the watch so that it's able to only press from the top onto the crystal. And you shouldn't need that much pressure. It'll pop out, you'll hear a little clink, and the crystal's been dislodged. In order to find out what size crystal you need, pull out your digital caliper. And what you have to do is measure the diameter. You want to take a couple measurements because you might not have it directly across. And when you see that you got a couple measurements that agree with one another, then you'll have figured out the actual diameter. If you can see it, 32 millimeters. When you're ordering these things online, there's usually a series of 3 numbers, especially if it's domed like this. And the first number is going to be your diameter. The second number is going to be the height with the dome from the center. The third is just going to be the width. Once you have these, then you can send off for your new crystal. If you happen to have cracked your crystal, there's a way to find out how big of a crystal you'll need. To do this, take your watch, and for this we're going to use the alternate side. And here you'll put the internal measuring hooks on the inside of that rim. And you always want to order about 0.1 millimeters larger than this number. So I'm getting 31.8. So you would want to get like a 31.9, or do multiple measurements. And like here I'm getting 31.87. So you always want to go 0.1 millimeters greater. And that again equals your 32 millimeters. As far as materials go, this watch was originally made with some high density acrylic. It can be made out of plastic, glass, hard acrylic, and there's even a couple different types of acrylic they can use, and sapphire, which is the hardest material. And that's what we're going to replace it with. People say it's an upgrade. For this step, you don't want to mar your new crystal. So use some clean, soft gloves. If you don't, you're going to have to clean up your new crystal after you've placed it. And I see they put a sticker on there. Thanks, guys. We're going to go back to our sapphire press. Only we'll use different attachments. So unscrew those old ones. And for this one, what I want to do is have two flats. The first one, the one that's going to be on the bottom, is going to be flat but sit on the inner ring of this watch. So while it's smaller than the one before, it's not able to push all the way through. It's held in place. And that'll be our backing. And then for the top, we want a piece that is going to be taking up more than the whole surface area of the crystal. We want even pressure to push down. So I'm going to use this one. You can see this is larger than our watch case. It's beautiful. Okay. So when we place it on the press, it should be able to roughly spin, right? And what I want to do is press down, and then I'm going to spin. And then press it down and spin again. And each time I should be getting a little lower, pushing that crystal into place. You can see that beautiful crystal's in there now. Line up the hole where your stem goes, along with the hole in the watch case. So slide the stem through the hole in the watch case and into the hole of the mechanism. You'll hear a click. We'll pop that battery in. So before we put that on, just make sure that you can hear it working. Yep, it's going. Hand tighten the case, the back of the case. Wow, look at that! Has a tiny bit of a different look because on the old crystal there was that blue ring, and now we do not have that blue ring. But it's still a very classy look. Poke the spine almost in, and then you'll find the hole of the bracelet. When you do, we're just gonna tap it in. Find the hole in the bracelet. And there you have it. Brand new sapphire crystal on your 20-year-old watch. Thanks for checking out my video. If you'd like, take the time now to put on gloves. Drop the camera.